Okay, I'm back. Let's see. We're contains JSX. I have a feeling this. Is there like some kind set on function scope? Oh, interesting. So there's a JSX fragment and then set on function scope, which is basically. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we can steal that. What does that mean? So when it's visiting a JSX fragment, but that means it needs to. Because the hook is before the JSX fragment, right? So if we. So we're visiting like some kind of function expression. Or function expression. And how do we know by then that there's a JSX fragment in the thing? Create import lazily. I just have a feeling that they're kind of running through. Oh, maybe I have to just. So here's program. Yeah. But you know what we can do? I think we can do a simpler thing. So in the something that's a bit more straightforward, I think, is that this is the transformer, and we're traversing the path here. And I think path is just, it's a node path, right? So what we can do is when we let me see here. Check if the call is within another function. Yeah, exactly. While current path, parent path. Well, we don't have to, like, some of this is created by AI, I have to admit. I don't think we actually need to go up the parent path, because it needs to be an immediate, okay. So I think this can be better. Let's see. So we don't need this while thing. Yeah, so let's see. First of all, we want to know is within. This is the thing, like it shouldn't be called anywhere else, but is within function. What we can do is, let's see, I'm gonna is within function is basically this check. And then we do, is this current path? No, I think it's path of parent path, parent path dot known. This is potentially, I guess we can do like node. Well, let's check. If we have a parent path and that parent path node is is function declaration or expression or arrow function expression. Then it is within function. And basically here we can just return if not is within function, we can just immediately return. And then we need to check if, oh, function parent. Oh yeah, and this also checks like if it's already like wrapped in an observer. This is not possible either. We don't have to set this. Function parent. Oh, where did it get function parent from? So this would be. Is it? Let me just check. Okay, function parent is the actual path. Yeah. So that would be path.parent path. But we also want to know if it's JSX, right? So what we should be able to do is say path.traverse and then has JSX equals false, has JSX equals true. We're just traversing that. Maybe this transformer could be more efficient, but I have never done this before. So basically, if not has JSX, we're gonna return. We're not gonna do anything. I think this is gonna fix it. Yeah, it's quite simple. Like, it looks complex, but most of this is written by AI, so but it does make sense. It's just that there's so many ways to define a function. So let's yarn build this. I think that should be enough. Store is not a function. Was that the problem with the... Yeah, wait, it didn't fix it. Let's see. Impact React MobX. Oh, I think maybe we need to restart. There we go. Nice. Okay, let's get back to it. Oh, look at this. Now it stopped doing it. So now, so the point is, like, it's actually very straightforward. Like, if your callback is referencing something outside the scope of the thing that's using it, it won't be garbage collected, right? So here, it doesn't work. So what's interesting about props is that props is like part of the actual store scope, while here we're consuming something outside. And that's not normally what you would do. It's very interesting. Like, this is a whole another level of API design for me. Like, how do you design an API around automatic dereferencing? We're very close, like, because you have the props, right? But you are able to do this injection. And that's important. That is really important. So what I think we should do in terms of documentation is to say that you can safely use all the observers in different, like if it's an effect, auto run, computed, derived, whatever, you can safely use them as long as they reference things inside the store or props. If they reference props or something inside the store, they will be cleaned up. But if you're importing another store, then you have to be careful. Then you actually have to clean it up. Because what would happen here is if for some reason this thing here, const state, return state, state, and then we would do set interval state count plus plus every second, and then inside here it would do this, but even if it's unmounted, it keeps doing it, right? Why does it log it twice, by the way? Because it's only running this one. Oh, I know why. It's because we're not using. Yeah, no, it makes sense because React is running it twice, the store, and since it's not dereferencing, like it's the side effect detection, right, from strict node. But yeah, I'm a little bit curious how we're gonna like document that. And this is not about impact either. This is just programming. What's interesting here? We're gonna try something. So I'm gonna create an interval here, and we're gonna have a count here as well. Count 0, doesn't matter. State.count plus plus, and we're gonna use the internal state instead. Every second, but we're actually gonna clean it up. Clean up. Oh, clear interval. Let's see. But if I do this, oh, it keeps going. That is interesting. Create store. Yeah. This is interesting. So if well, I think this is a different problem. Actually, because the cleanup only runs once. Yeah. And the reason the cleanup only runs once is something I haven't taken into account, actually. So this is another bug, I would state. This is because, like, we're using use layout effect to resolve the store, but it does it twice. This is the fucking strict mode. So I think we need a ref for this. So has resolved store shouldn't be. This is the problem. Like, so one thing is that it runs the component twice, right? It renders twice. But after that, it's gonna run the use layout effect twice. So it will just run through this twice. And we need a ref to make sure that it only runs once. Yeah, this is. Yeah, but this is only in concurrent. So that will be strict mode, ref, use ref, true, and then, oh, sorry, not here, but in the other one. Let's see. As result store or. Yeah, you know what? We don't need this actually. So this is what we use just to trigger the component render. But I think we should set a ref as well. As configured. It's has result ref. Like, it's kind of silly, but yeah. False. It's just what we have to deal with. Current. As result or current is true. It's just the name of the game with React. Yeah, now it's working. What was I gonna say? Where are we? App. Yeah, so this is fun. Yeah, so the point is, if you're pointing to a store, if you're observing something from a parent store, these observer contexts, they're being auto-run or whatever, they're gonna stick around. But I don't think that's an actual problem, because normally you don't, like, you observe something to trigger something. Well, yeah, no, it could be a problem, because if this auto run then references something internally, then yeah, that is definitely a problem. So I think that's just the thing to keep in mind. Yeah, I just wonder if, like, should we document to always use cleanup, or should we document but then you can't use them for derived and stuff. Yeah, no, I think we should document, be careful about observing state from parent stores. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's super, super interesting. Like, I don't think you typically would do it. I wonder if there's a way we can help you with it. Okay. Anyways, we fixed some things. Yeah, so basically we can do this. Global store. You can use parent stores. Oh yeah. Global store. Yeah, this is interesting because you don't actually have to dispose of it. Yeah. It's very interesting because this app store, like, it's the store and it's only accessing internal things. Oh yeah, this is so interesting. Anyways, use app store. You can use React parent stores. Yeah, and we don't actually need to dispose of it either. So we can do this. And we don't need to introduce cleanup yet. I think that can be a section for it on its own. Yeah, let's just do this. You can use parent stores. Yeah, and there's no cleanup. Did I have cleanup here? No. Let's do this. It's super, super fascinating. Anyways, oh, look at this. Create store. Oh, we're just doing it inline there. Okay. Create store. You can use parent stores. No need to clean up. Yeah, it's very interesting because it's like, there's like two parts to this event listener leak. It's like if you add an event listener to window, right? That makes sense. Like, you have to clean that up. Because you're subscribing to window and that will stick, and the thing that's subscribing to it is going to be gone, and then you want to remove the listener on window. But then you might have this other issue where you are subscribing to something internally, like something within the same scope, right? You instantiate something in the scope and then you subscribe to it, but in that subscription you point to window, right? In the callback you point to window, and now it's still stuck. Like the whole scope is now stuck because something inside it references something outside of it. So I think that's kind of the mental model here. It's like you have these callbacks, and if they're referencing something, if these listeners are created by some created on something externally or references something externally, then you have to manually clean it up. Yeah. It's very interesting. But why doesn't that, like, why doesn't that mean yeah, no, I think it makes sense. You can use parent stores and then observe. And then create store. Yeah, and the thing I'm not really talking about here, let's stop this dev thing. Let's start a yarn docs dev. The thing I'm not really talking about there is learn. State dependencies. So this is not really a tip. It is actually documentation. Having nested stores resolves the challenge of state dependencies. In global state stores, you have state that depends on other state. For example, the list of posts depends on the current user, or the state managing a form depends on the currently selected item. In these situations, you have to be very you have to in this situation, in global state stores, you have to manually manage these dependencies, or you risk yeah, in global state stores you have to manually manage these dependencies, but with nested state stores they are automatically cleaned up. And but with nested state stores this happens automatically. So maybe that's not obvious, but it's like if you have a user and you have a store that manages the authentication of that user, And only when that user is resolved, you mount another store. And then you key that store on the user. Like the app store is keyed on the current user. So if that user changes, or not the actual user, but the user ID. So if the user ID changes, it will unmount the whole component tree and mount it again. So all the state management of the old user is gone automatically. And the same goes for like if you're clicking an item to edit it. If you now click another item to edit another item, all the state related to editing the previous item is just gone by the fact that it mounts a new state management store for it. And this also fixes typing. Having this store resolves the challenge of state dependencies. In global state stores, maybe... No, I think we can keep writing. You have state that depends on... in any application, you have state that depends on other state. For example, the list of posts depends on the current user, or the state managing of depends on the currently selected item. In global state stores, you have to manually manage these dependencies. But with nested state stores, this happens automatically. So I think we can do like function app, or let's see, export provide app store provider or let's do const app, and then you have how should I put this? App key user.id. And then maybe we pass in the user, of course. I guess we should have function app store. Let's see, props and return gets user, return props.user. Let's just call it client or something. Oh, sorry. Then we have function client, export default, function client. And then we have this, and then we do something. Resolve a user. For example, here showing how we bind the App Store to the ID of the user. If the ID of the user changes, the store is remounted by React. This is excellent. Another aspect of this is typing. In a global state store, you would likely type your user as user or null, because you do not initially have a user. This has but most components and state management logic only runs when there is an actual user. Executes only executes when there is an actual user. You know this, but TypeScript does not. The result is ignoring. The result is turning off strict null checking, overriding the type, or creating conditionals. Creating conditionals to make the type checker happy. In the context of having a user. You know this, but TypeScript does not. You know there is a user, but TypeScript does not. The result is turning off strict null checking, overriding the type, or creating conditionals to make the type checker happy. Now you can stop doing this. Strict null checking, strict null checks. Cool. Yes. And then we have lifecycle. React has two mounting phases, the render phase and the commit phase. The reactive, okay, let's. The stores are normally instantiating during the render phase as the exposed state consumed by the components are by default instantiated during the render phase as the exposed state consumed by the components. When the commit phase has been performed and components has been and the commit components during the render phase as the exposed state consumed by components. When the commit phase has been performed and the components has been mounted, the provider for the store can unmount. Impact allows you to intercept when it's related provider component. This is called cleanup. Create store. So two mounting, the render phase and the commit phase. The stores are by default instantiated during the render phase as the exposed state consumed by the exposed state to be consumed by the component. And the components has been mounted. Because of React's concurrent mode, sometimes components never reach the next phase, the next commit phase, where they will actually be mounted and not leading, but opposite of leading. Later and a later unmount can happen. So impact. Okay, so React has two mounting phases, the render phase and the commit phase. The stores are by default instantiated during the render phase as they expose state to be consumed. As they expose state to be consumed by the components. Because of React's concurrent mode, sometimes components never reach the next phase, the commit phase. That means there is no guarantee by React that components will mount and unmount. That you can rely on actually mounting and unmounting. That means there is no guarantee by React that you can rely on a mount and mount lifecycle of components. For state management, this is really important though. There will be situations where you need to clean up a side effect that you created when the store was instantiated. We need to Impact solves this issue by giving you a cleanup. When this function, when this cleanup is used by your store, Impact will rather instantiate the store in the commit phase. Guaranteeing that the component will be mounted and later unmounted. When this cleanup is used by your store, Impact will rather instantiate the store in the commit phase, guaranteeing that the component will be mounted and later unmounted, running the cleanup. That makes Impact stores or stores concurrent safe, even when you have side effects, given that you actually use cleanup. I'm giving you a cleanup function. When this cleanup is used by your store, Impact will rather instantiate the store in the commit phase. This guarantees that the component will and later on stores are concurrent safe even when you have side effects. I had an argument with my with my partner. I feel I don't know. It's kind of when you have a family and you have kids, you kind of you want to avoid having additional stress factors, and you kind of want stability, and especially in each other as partners and parents, you kind of need this stability and confidence, or you want it. Like, life is up and down, and there will always be stuff popping up, right? That's important. Like that, of course, that will happen. But when it comes to like everyday like work and family, things get quickly very difficult if there's like consistent challenges either at home, or like if you as like one of the parents consistently have challenges at work or something at home or wherever, that kind of, I don't know, breaks your confidence to some extent. And because like some people, they kind of, especially when they get kids, they kind of make sure that, okay, now I'm going to stay at my job for like the next 10 years kind of thing. And I think that's a good thing, because it just creates stability and predictability, and you know how to like interact with everyone. And even though things can change there, of course, like it just reduces the potential like stressful situations, or kind of breaks your confidence in what you're doing, or everything. Yeah, I don't know where I wanted to go with this, but I think I'm not very good at being supportive. I kind of have this expectation that there needs to be this fundamental stability in our work and family. But then I'm probably unfair, like, because stuff happens all the time, and I could probably be more supportive. But I think I've been doing the same thing for like 15 years now. So I'm like, I think I'm blindfolded on this. Because even things can like change in my world as well. It's still very much like I have very high confidence in what I'm doing because I've been doing it for 15 years. And been interacting with people and the community and like everything for 15 years. Well, my partner doesn't have that same, like very few people has that experience, I guess. So I could be more supportive in like that there is way more disruption on her end than on my end. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Let's get back to this. Impact solves this issue by giving a cleanup function. Impact stores are concurrent safe. When you have a side effect, you can clean that up using the cleanup function. When this cleanup is used by your store, Impact will instantiate the store in the commit phase. This guarantees that the component will be mounted and later unmounted, running the cleanup. Yes. Cool. That's it. And now yeah, so this kind of sucks. Oh, sorry. This will be, well, I guess we can do this and make it look a bit nicer. That's the only negative thing. It's like if it doesn't take props and you do cleanup, you have this underscore thing. But it's a common thing in programming, right? I'm not saying anything about like the consequence of mounting it in the commit phase, because I don't think it matters. Like there is overhead because it needs to render twice, and it instantiates during the 16 milliseconds of like next paint. But that's like, it doesn't take any time to instantiate a store. And that, yeah, it's, yeah. Props, cleanup. Create store, cleanup. I think the thing I get most upset with is when people, generally, when people, the thing I hate the most is when someone says to themselves that they're dumb, like says something negative about themselves. I really like, it gets me really upset, because everybody needs, during their lifetime, they have to reach a moment of acceptance, right? That you accept yourself for who you are. If you don't do that, like you're not gonna, like, it's not about finding nirvana or anything like that, but you're gonna have a hard time living if you don't do that. And I think like the next thing, so that's like the worst thing, is like you're out loud, you're saying I'm stupid or like something like that. But the next thing that comes after that is like lack of confidence in how you handle things. Well, basically a lack of, it's not about being like super like confident, but when you make, that's the point, when you make mistakes, it's like, do you put yourself down, or do you just say, oh, that's just me, I don't have the experience to have handled it better, I'm quirky that way, my mind works a bit different. Like, instead of making excuses for the mistake, or it might not even have been a mistake, you just think you made a mistake, instead of coming up with reasons for, like, positive reasons, you come up with negative reasons. And that really bothers me. But people should, of course, be allowed to doubt. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I get so upset by it. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, anyways. Let's see. Use App Store, create store. Cool. Since our store, It's just a function scope. We're free to do state management beyond just the state we expose to components. In this case, we run an interval for as long as the app store is mounted. But this could have been a subscription or some instance you need to dispose of when the store unmounts. You can force a store to remount by using the key property on the provider, on the component providing it. For example, you can use the ID of user to ensure that all state management related to the current user will be disposed. Consider including, now you don't have to do this anymore. Now we can remove all of this because we have concurrent mode or support concurrent mode. All this stuff. React has two mounting phases, the render phase and the commit phase. The stores are by default instantiated. Let's read it on the actual page. React has two mounting phases, the render phase and the commit phase. The stores are by default instantiated during the render phase as the exposed state to be consumed by the components. Yeah, we don't have to emphasize that. Because of React's concurrent mode, sometimes components never reach the next phase, the commit phase. That's a weird sentence. Because of React's concurrent mode, due to might not reach the next phase. Because of React's concurrent mode, components might not reach the next phase, the commit phase. That means there is no guarantee by React that you can rely on mount and unmount lifecycle of components. For state management, this is there will be situations where not for state management, but like the reason it's important is because we allow you to write side effects when we instantiate the store. Like you don't have to wait for onDidMount to actually produce a side effect. And this is important for how you think about writing code. Like you create side effects in the constructor, right? And you don't wait for, like in some other programming domain, like you don't wait for some special hook before you create the side effect. You just write it and then you dispose of it on a dispose method or something. And that's the mental model we want for these stores. It's just code. Don't think about mounting or unmounting or anything like that. Just write your code, and then if you created a side effect, use cleanup. That means there is no guarantee by React that you can rely on a mount. And that's really important. Like if you instantiate something in the store, that exposes state that you want to consume during the render phase. But at the same time, you want to dispose of that thing that you instantiated when it unmounts. That's really the most common scenario. Which is kind of annoying because you also have a subscription, right? But that subscription does not strictly need to be a cleanup. Which is kind of annoying because a subscription doesn't a subscription can run like after a component mounted, right? Yeah. And that's also interesting because some subscription might... Ah, fuck. I haven't really thought about it this way. I wonder if cleanup... Oh no, that doesn't help. Like there's a difference there. It's fine to run a subscription when you mount and then dispose of it when you unmount. But if you create an instance of something that needs to be an instance of something during the render phase and you need to dispose of it when it unmounts, then it's a problem. It's a very specific scenario. And it's much more common to do subscriptions than doing the instantiation and disposal thing. And it's kind of sad that, not sad, but it's annoying that this commit phase thing has a small overhead. An overhead you don't really need when you're just subscribing to something. But I think that's fine. It makes it consistent. Like you do create a side effect, but what I do wonder though is like, oh yeah, no, that doesn't matter. And that means there is no guarantee by React that you can rely on a mount and mount lifecycle. That means that React that means React does not really have mount and mount lifecycle. Components might not reach the next phase, the commit phase. That means React doesn't really have. How should I put this? Because of React's concurrent mode, components might not reach the next phase, the commit phase. That means if you create a side effect during the render phase, that means if you create a side effect during the render phase, that means if you create a side effect during the render phase, there is no hook to clean it up. Hook executing to clean it up. Because component might not reach the next phase, the commit phase. That means if you create a side effect during the render phase, there is no hook executing to clean it up. That means if you create a side effect during the render phase and it does not reach the commit phase, there is no hook executing to clean it up. When we write reactive code, it is important React has two mounting phases, the render phase and the commit phase. The stores are by default instantiated during the render phase. Because of React's concurrent mode, components might not reach the next phase, the commit phase. That means if you create a side effect during the render phase and it does not reach the commit phase, there is no hook executing. There is no hook execution to clean it up. When we write reactive code, it is important with impact we wanted to allow you to just write code as you are used to in any other domain. That means side effects can be created but needs to be cleaned up reliably during the instantiation of the store, but needs to be cleaned up reliably. With impact, we wanted to allow we allow you to just write code as you're used to in any other domain. That means side effects can be created during the instantiation of the store, but needs to be cleaned and will be cleaned up reliably. That means side effects can be created during the instantiation of the store and be cleaned up reliably. Impact stores are concurrent safe. When you have a side effect, you can clean that up using the cleanup function. When this cleanup is used by your store, Impact will instantiate the store in the commit phase. This guarantees that the component will be mounted and later unmounted running the cleanup. That's basically it. I think that's fine. React has two mounting phases, the render phase and the commit phase. The stores are by default instantiated during the render phase. Because of React's concurrent mode, components might not reach the next phase, the commit phase. That means if you create a side effect during the render phase and it does not reach the commit phase, there's no hook execution to clean it up. With Impact, we allow you to just, this just word, I use it a lot. We allow you to write code as you're used to in any other domain. That means side effects can be created during the instantiation of the store and be cleaned up reliably. Impact stores are concurrent safe. When you have a side effect, you can clean that up using the cleanup function. When this cleanup is used by your store, Impact will instantiate the store in the commit phase. This guarantees that the component will be mounted and later unmounted, running the cleanup. Nice. Since our store is just a function scope, we are free to do state management beyond just the state we expose to components. In this case, we run an interval for as long as the app store is mounted. But this could have been a subscription or some instance you need to dispose of when the store unmounts. You can force a store to remount by using a key property on the component, blah, blah, blah. One thing we're going to test now, then I think I'm going to drop off because I've been working 4-day work weeks, and this is my last. And I want to try to take advantage of it. I just want to check stores. I don't think we actually need stores. Let's drop stores. Let's see. Yeah, we don't need... We really just need create store. Yeah, well, we can drop that article, create provider. Yeah, delete, rename, create store. What were we doing? Imagine that single function. That's nice. Yes, we were going to test something. So let's move over to the dev again, and we're going to create some concurrent behavior. So let's remove all of this stuff. Export default function app, return hello world. And I think we're actually going to use, let's make sure it's been built, Impact React signals build. I'm going to use signals instead. Does it run? Nice. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna create suspense, and then fallback is gonna be loading it up, and then we're gonna, let's see how we're gonna do this. Nested or counter, whatever. So we're gonna have a counter, and we're gonna have an async counter. Let's see. So let's do use counter equals create store, and we're gonna import create store from impact React signals. Oh, didn't I name it? Oh, my bad. Impact React signals. Oh, yeah, this should be named store. And this store exports create store. Store. Where's create? Oh, create store. Oh, interesting. Yarn build. So we have create store, and we're gonna put count here. Count, set count. And that's going to be a signal. Let's just see if it runs first. Count, and then just do a set interval, set count, current +1 every second, and then let's create the counter as use counter.provider would be the actual counter. And then we're gonna do use counter, return h1 count, state.count, and then we're gonna call that. We're also gonna go in here and we're gonna change this to signals transform. That didn't work. Is it because I have to restart because I changed the bubble plugin? Interesting. That didn't actually work. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Where are we getting? Oh yeah, sorry, because I'm not cleaning up the side effect. I keep forgetting it. Okay, so it's definitely running, but the observer isn't working. Why isn't the observer working? I'm exporting observer from store. And observer is use observer. Why isn't the observer working? What did I do? Why isn't it working? I'm gonna just test. I'm just gonna test the transformer. It might be a problem with the transformer. Test transform. and impact no test transform. No, yarn transform. Oh, okay. Oh, I have to change this now. Package transform CJS. Oh, we don't have to do this anymore. Yeah, build CJS. Module not found. Which module? Test? Oh. Test transform. Excuse me. Must export a default export when using ES6 modules. Oh fuck, is this export default? Is that a thing with this, or is it? What was failing here? Was it running the node test transform? Yeah. Oh my god. Must export a default when using ES6. Is it because of my node version? This is such... When this is gone, it's gonna be the most joyous day ever. I've never seen this before. Target node webpack configuration. I'm just running. Why does it say this? Bobble. Oh, is this? Oh, could it be? Okay, so export default. Is it a problem with the? What is this? Is it an error with? Well, it's definitely Bobble core. I'm not sure. Maybe it's confused by something. Const use counter provider. This shouldn't be an issue. I have no idea what this is. Okay, let's just not do this. I just wonder if it's related to something else. No, it like this is... What the fuck is this? This worked... Wait a minute. Okay, so this stopped working when I got it working for everything else. What if I rename... Like, I have no idea what this is related to. Oh, come on. Okay, I'm gonna just try to... const I can't believe this. Oh yeah. I can't fucking believe this. I can't just run node. But what is this? Like, why is it so angry at me? Is it because I'm... Is it the actual, like, running of this stuff that's the problem? Oh, interesting. Okay, let's try doing this. I can't believe must export a default export when using ES6 modules, but I'm not using ES. So this must be coming from this thing. How do I fix this? Like, this is how the code needs to look to actually run with Babel. But when I try to do it here, it becomes a problem. But maybe I can flip it around. Maybe instead of using that one, we'll do this. And we'll do import. Let's just undo everything. Yes. Rename to JS package JSON. Then we do build ESM, and then we'll try to import the ESM version. Can't believe this. It's just horrible. And then yeah, we can't have that one, but that doesn't matter. Still a problem. Oh yeah. You can run it, transform async. I guess this is a promise of a result. Sake. Unexpected false value. I can't believe this. Console.log. Hello. Babel transform. So now I can run the transform. Which version? Yeah, I have the same Node version on my computer, but I think I did this. First I fixed the plugin, and then I did all the build stuff to make it work. I'm gonna try something. So we're gonna do this conversion only when we actually build it. Oops. There, and then we're gonna do this. And we're gonna keep, for transform, we're gonna do this, no test transform. And then do CGS, because that worked. Probably no, not anymore. Why is it saying that? Oh, build CGS, sorry. Yeah, but if I do that, but then that doesn't work. Well, let me try to manually do this now. Rename, oh, sorry, transform, CGS. Wait a minute, what's happening here? It's a fucking mess. Oh, could not resolve. Oh, yeah, sorry. But now I get this other issue. I can't. And now I get must export a default export when using ES6 modules. And I guess this doesn't. Exports create. Oh, I know. Oh, wait a minute. So, oh, fuck. But now the problem is, this says I have to use a default export, but I can't use a default. Or can I? Maybe we can. Maybe we can. So what if we do export default, create transformer, and then we rather export default as, can I do this? Export default. Okay. Import, create transformer. Oh. This has to be a default export. Okay, let's try again. Of course, that doesn't work. Must export a default export. But it does that now. Transform. It does that now. I'm so sick and tired of this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what's wrong. Of course, it's because previously the transformer was the transform, but now I made it a function because I want you to be able to change the package name. So this isn't really the plugin, of course. How can I fix that? That's the problem. Sorry. I would imagine I could do like require transform. Yeah, let me change it back. And now this is going to be impact Impact React signals. I'm not sure if I can actually require the thing, but let's try it. And then we have to change this again. Export. Oh my god. That doesn't work either. Oh yeah, of course. But can I do that? Because this becomes a promise. Async function main. This is horrible main, and we have to await this import. Yeah, because now there isn't. Yeah, it should be await. Should look like this. There we go. God damn it. Oh my god. Where's the thing we were working on? The app. Why wasn't this handled? Yeah, fine. Let's remove that. Oh, it didn't wrap. It imported the observer, but for some reason this code isn't running. Okay, nice. So this would be... Oh, I'm not using store. I am like the first. I have to get used to this. Oh, isn't it typed correctly? Oh, interesting. We're gonna fix that. Wait. Oh yeah, impact React signals. Let's see. Okay, so let's fix that issue first. Configure store. And this actually returns a function that returns t for us. That's the thing. So oh, this could actually have been because I hadn't built it, but it doesn't hurt. Let's see. I can't believe this. Oh, it still doesn't work. Okay, but then let's see. Was it because I changed to this provider thing? So, oh, of course, it's because it's not a component. Okay, I'm gonna... Can I just add JSX as a string? can I just do this? Module not found. I think it actually gave me some help. What did it say? It said something about missing plugin. Missing one of plugins. Okay, but we're gonna simplify this. I'm just gonna skip this part for now. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what happens. So are we getting down here? What the fuck? Would it log this? So I think the problem here is, I think we have more of these actually. No, we don't. That's interesting. Is within function path, parent path. Okay, let's see if it ends up there. How do I get it to log it? I guess, oh, it doesn't log this. How was I able to... Does it actually do anything? Like if I console log there, do I see it then? No, something weird happening here. I don't think it's actually create transformer. Are we building? Build CJS. Oh wait, no. Oh, sorry, not there, but on here. There we go. Okay, let's figure out what happens. So it says it's not within the function. What's the node type? Variable declarator. Is that the parent? Interesting. I thought the parent... Oh, I don't think we should look at the parent path. Parent. I think we should look at the parent. Oh, that failed. Reading type. Oh. What is path.parent? Oh, it's path.parent, not node, but just parent. That is a node. No, it's still a variable declarator. So that's a variable declarator? I find that interesting. So the parent of this is the variable declarator. Ah, for fuck's sake. How do we... But what if I do this? Is it the same? Just trying to see if I can simplify it. Yeah, it is. But I thought there was code for that. Transform. Is function declaration, because this is call expression. And then we have wrap function with observer. Oh, is variable declarator. Yeah, so we, okay. But what's the test there is? Should we really check this? I don't think we actually need this. It's within function. We can just, like, it doesn't have to be that complicated. Like, if it has JSX, we know that it's fine. So if we run it again, fuck, I broke it. Fuck. This stuff is just so complicated. I have no idea what I'm doing. So it got down for other cases. Yeah, I think this is the problem. So this is a variable declarator. And here we're just going in to the function path parent and we're replacing it. But the parent is the declaration. That declaration isn't necessarily... I thought this worked previously. But why isn't it detecting it as... This is weird. Why isn't it detecting it as... Because now I just have a function declaration. Why doesn't it detect it as that? Ah, we have to close others. Don't save. Why doesn't it detect it as wrap function with observer is... Well, not function declaration, but it should hit is variable declarator, right? And func node. Yeah, okay. Console.log. What the fuck? There's so much stack trace. Yeah. So why is it complaining. Is function expression is function expression. What's a function expression? Let's look at func node init. I'm confused. It's a call expression. Okay. Is call expression. If not, T is okay. So if that function expression, yeah, I feel like it's running differently now than what it did. I'm very confused by this. And on file, reading type. Where? Oh. What the fuck is happening here? Oh, it's the... Oh, wait a minute. What's happening here? So we're checking the function. What the fuck happened there? I'm not in no mood for this. This used to work. Why has it changed? What did I do? Why did it change? I'm so tired. So what happens here? It hits. So let's just read the code. So what happens is that it hits the actual variable declaration. So that's why it's coming in here. It's a variable declaration, and then we're saying, oh, if the init is a call expression, wait a minute, is it a variable declaration? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what I'm doing here. I'm just letting through the... So parent path, that is... Yeah, sorry. I think I know what I'm doing wrong. But if not is call expression, that can't be... That can't be... Because here it only runs through if the init is arrow function expression. Whatever. Okay, I think I see what I'm doing wrong. What did this file used to do? Oh, now I know why it went through that while loop. Do I have the while loop here? Oh, sorry. I wasn't supposed to be a toilet break. Get up, get up, get up, get up. I think it's called like create component. Funny enough. So transform, that's why it's going through the while thing, because it needs to find the actual function parent. Let's see. Yeah, we still need to do this. Sorry. My bad. My bad. It stopped working because I removed code. Let's see. Okay, let's try again. Look at that. Nice. That's how it's gonna work. But then we had use counter store provider. So I think it broke when I added that signature. No, that should work. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. So why doesn't it do that? Like, it's very difficult to figure out what actually happens here. For some reason, this code is failing. But I can't actually look at the code. Oh, for fuck's sake. Store. Oh, sorry. Index. Configure. Oh, that was signals. Sorry. Configure store. Do I have any store provider? Yarn build. Are you happy? What about now? Oh, look at this. We actually got an error on the transform. Oh, was that something else? Oh, that was something else. Okay, I have absolutely no idea why this doesn't work. It's the exact same code. The only thing I can imagine is that it didn't detect JSX. Okay, so we can try something. I'm gonna just drop the JSX check again. Oops. Oh, JSX fragment. What does that mean? JSX fragment? Is it explicitly JSX? Oh. Sorry. Why is it? Why did it check fragment? I think that's the problem. I just want to know if it has JSX. Is there any documentation on this? Oh, I guess that's fine. Okay, let's try again. Okay, let's just remove this. Oh, wait a minute. Path. Oh, interesting. Oh, I think I know what it is. So we need to go and find... Oh, okay. I think I know what it is. We're not going to use path here. Let's see. Let's... Oh, okay. This guy, but it's not... We're going to use the function parent. That's the thing we're going to traverse through. Okay, so if sorry, if no function parent return, and then function parent traverse. Yarn build. There we go. Nice. Yes. Let's go and do what we were supposed to do. So, close others. What we're gonna do here is, okay, so it's running and we don't care about this interval anymore. What we're gonna do instead is that we're gonna actually throw to the suspense, and we're gonna see. Okay, let's keep the counter, and we're gonna do cleanup here. Const interval cleanup, and we're just gonna console log as well. Console log tick. Clear interval. Okay, so what should happen now is that we still have this counter, but then we're gonna do something crazy. We're gonna, oh my god, let's see, state, set state, or show, set show, use state true, and then how are we gonna do this? So we have show, or I guess we can do null. What did I do? Oh, is it lacking? What did I do? Oh, sorry. Oh, of course. Oh, but we're gonna actually have a button here. Button on click, set show false, hide. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use suspense, and then while we're suspending, we're gonna console log cleaning up. We're gonna check if it actually cleans up the store. And the way we're gonna do that is that we're gonna create another signal of a promise. Signal new promise, and we're gonna resolve this after a long time, like after 5 seconds. I guess we can just resolve, and then after 5 seconds, and then we're gonna expose this promise. And this promise is going to be used by the count. I think we can just use it here. Use state of promise. Yeah, we can use this one. So it should go straight to suspense, and then it's ticking, right? And then it continues. Is that how it's supposed to work? Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. Because we are providing the counter store, and then it's just we're not rendering the UI. We're providing the store, and the store is still running in the background, and it should do that. But the thing is, if we hide it, oh, it's still fucking ticking. It shouldn't be. Fuck. Why is it doing that? Why is it doing that? Oh my god. It should not be doing that. Because now we should be in concurrent mode, or we should handle concurrency. There's something weird going on here. I think I have to think on this. Oh yeah. No, this is weird. This is super weird. Because it's not concurrent, right? So the configure store, this happens on use layout effect. And it resolves the store, and then it runs this effect. Okay, let's log running store. Running effect has result store. Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. But it says it hasn't resolved the store. Why does it say that? Set result store. False. Now it sets it to true. Shouldn't use layout effect trigger? But it ran the effect. But this is still false. I find that weird. Because this is gonna make it render again. Let me see, console. Well, yeah, has result store, that's null. It's gonna stay like that. So this, okay. So it starts by setting this to null, which means that it hasn't run the suspense, the use thing yet. And then it triggers this layout effect. We change the result store to true, but the effect is still false. That's weird. As results store. I find that very, very weird. Right? True. But the effect, oh, the effect runs twice. Oh yeah, it's the initial effect. Yeah, sorry, it's the implementation. It's just wrong. So what we want to do, we want to drop this one, and then when, yeah, this is what we want to do. So no, what the fuck happened now? Running store. Why does it run cleanup immediately? Oh, sorry. Wait, no. Wait? What the fuck? Why is it running cleanup? Running store. Oh, fucking strict mode. Running layout. Running store. So if it has resolved, oh, then it returns. Oh, this is so mind-bending. Has resolved ref. So running layout false. That's running the store. Why does it run cleanup? I know it's strict mode, fucking strict mode, but I thought it would try to run. Like it would try to run use layout effect, and if it returns something. Oh, of course. Sorry. Oh fuck. This is the whole problem, isn't it? So we can't run it here because of strict mode. It's gonna run through this, initialize the store. It's gonna run through it again, but now we have said that we have already resolved it, right? So now we need the opposite. Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's simply this. Use effect. Do this. If has result current. Well, oh, sorry. I guess this is also the problem because it will run this one twice. So before it runs this one, but it's also going to run this one twice. For fuck's sake. Yeah, so it needs a has resolved ref, and it needs a has registered cleanup ref. because it's like it's just gonna run these two. Oh my god, this is such a mess. Has resolved, has registered cleanup. So this is just because of fucking strict mode. Wait, still running cleanup? I'm confused. They're really trying to make it difficult to create a developer experience where you can have a sane mind. Why is this running cleanup? So this is running twice, has registered cleanup ref. Running effect. Is this also running? Like, is that how strict mode runs? Oh, wait a minute. Is it actually rendering once, running use effect once, and then render once again? Like, I don't understand. I thought it would just run. Oh, for fuck's sake. So the problem here is, I can't believe this. I just can't believe this. But do we actually need this now? Like, we don't have to. We can still run configure store twice, right? We can still run configure store twice. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, sorry. We don't actually need, this is the point, is that we now have safe cleanup. So we're gonna run it, clean it up, run it again. Like, you can't prevent it from running twice, but the point is that we've guaranteed that it will actually clean up, right? That's the whole point. Yeah, so we're not gonna prevent this. We're gonna remove this. The point is that we are actually doing this now. So I think we can just remove this actually. So this will run twice. It will configure the store and set result store, clean up, and then run the whole thing again. But that should be fine. That should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, running store, clean up, running store, clean up. But now it's not working. Fuck. I thought I had this under control. I think this one's like we're running cleanup twice. Yeah, this one's not. For fuck's sake. What we can do is, let's see. Use configure store. We're gonna return the container. Let's see. And then we have use layout effect, and this will be const container, and that's the one we're gonna clean up. No, wait a minute. That's not the problem. The problem is that it's running cleanup twice. Oh, for fuck's sake. Is use layout effect? Is that... does that dispose? When does use layout effect dispose? React use layout effect. Why does it run? So what if you return something? The function with your effects loaded. Yeah, React will render after every render. Before your component is removed from the DOM. We'll run your cleanup function. But this is not the behavior. I don't understand this. Do we have another? Where do we do cleanup? It's only there. Why is it running cleanup twice? That makes absolutely no sense. It's a running store, cleanup. Okay, so that might be... No, wait a minute, sorry. It should do that. Sorry, because we're throwing to suspense. Like, this happens so fast. So that should happen. But when it's running the store, it suddenly stops working. Why does it stop working? Why does it stop working after that? So if we don't do this, runs the store, cleans it up, runs the store again, everything's fine. So what it could be is I think I know what it is. Oh, for fuck's sake. So this doesn't work either. Are you fucking kidding me? Why are they making it so difficult? So what happens is that React is keeping a reference. So it uses layout, it unsubscribes, okay, I'm gonna try something. So what I think happens is that we're using the layout effect, we configure the store, everything's good in the world, and then we hit suspense, and it cleans up the store, because it kind of unmounts the component, but React still keeps a reference to the rendered component. And since you've already ran the layout effects, it won't run it again when it reuses the component. This is the problem. Like concurrent mode is like very smart at doing things. But now we have another problem, because now this container, we have to have the correct reference here. I thought this would work. This doesn't work. Like, we can't make things concurrent safe. It's horrible. It's just fucking horrible. Fucking React. Oh, fucking concurrent mode. Oh, god damn it. I did not expect this behavior. I expected the component to mount again, but it doesn't do that. It just reuses its last rendered state without calling any effects or anything. So now the store is cleaned up. I want to check something though. Use effect. But I don't understand how it can do that. At least I would expect run effect that the effect actually works. Dispose effect. Because if you have a subscription and you throw to suspense, fine, it like unsubscribes or whatever, but then it needs to add the subscription again when it goes back, right? But it doesn't seem to do that for the use layout effect. Oh, sorry. Or it does do that, right? It called configure store again. So running store, run effect, cleanup, dispose effect, running store, run effect, cleanup, but there's no dispose effect. And then it's running the store again. But that's the weird thing. It's actually running the store again. Oh, I know. I know what it is. I know what it is. So we need to not do this, but set result store needs to be a counter. Current set result store what should we call it? Set result store if result store count equals 0, then we return null. Okay, now I think it works, because we need to re-render after we initialize, I think. And now it should do that. Oh, fuck. But then it... Yeah, but this is the expected behavior, actually. Because what's happening now is that when we use this promise now, what happens is that we're throwing to the suspense. And then it remounts the counter, right? Which creates a new promise. So this is just like, this is what can happen with suspense. Which is fine. So what we want to do here is we want to create like an app store, use app store. And that's where we're going to put the other promise thing, so it doesn't get discarded though. blah 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 blah. And then we're gonna return a promise. Oops, promise. And then we're gonna do provider. This whole concurrent thing has made me const app use app store app.promise. So let's see now. Running store, cleaning up, running store, clean up. Fine. It's unmounted. Mounting it again, and now it's working. And that's fine. That's perfect. Like the thing that's a problem is like if you're instantiating something in your store that can't be disposed. Like I think Monaco has this behavior. But anyways, but if I now do this, I hide it. Well, it's cleaned up, so nothing happens. But that like like loop, that's expected. Like if you instantiate something and you use suspense, that thing unmounts, right? It's not in the UI anymore. And then when you go back, you mount it again, and that's how it's supposed to work. Okay, but that's nice. We got through it. And this is nice. Like this is of course how it should work. We shouldn't go against strict mode. It's that we support like concurrent mode and strict mode. It's just that the only thing we're doing is that if you have a cleanup, we wait initializing the store in the commit phase, which is use layout effect. But it will still run use layout effect twice and then initialize your store twice. But that helps you detect side effects inside the store, right? So yeah, this is exactly how it should work. You know what? I think I'm gonna stop streaming now and try to relax a little bit. I have to pick up the kids soon. But I'm glad we got through this. I am. And I'll keep writing on the... Didn't I remove stores? No, we didn't. Learn lifecycle. I'm gonna add like in lifecycle. I'm gonna add a little info. Even though we with strict mode, your store will still initialize. With strict mode, your store will still initialize twice. Also, when initializing in the commit phase, this helps you detect not using. This helps verify that your cleanup indeed does what it is supposed to do. Yeah, and that's true. Great. So I'm gonna work on I'm gonna work on updating queries and mutation, and then actually write the proper documentation for create store. And then we're getting close to something. Yeah, I'm really happy about this. I am really happy about this. When the rear, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna read this a million times more. But yeah, I guess that's it for now. We got a lot of stuff done. We handled some issues with the transformer. We handle an issue like that we should still have strict mode, of course. We shouldn't try to circumvent that because it's there to deal not have leaking side effects, which is exactly what we're also fixing. So we should just let strict mode do its thing. And we tested a few things and written some documentation. Yeah, this is nice. And I'm gonna update the presentation as well, because that also lost some of its glory. Yeah, and I have a much better, like the preview thing wasn't that great when I talked about the global problem, like the state dependencies. It's very simple. Like if the posts array depends on the user, you typically have to manually handle that. So if the user changes, you have to make sure that the posts are deleted again. But when you have nested state stores, the dashboard doesn't even exist when there is no user. And if the user changes, the dashboard is remounted with its state management. It's as simple as that. It also fixes typing. Like the user is never null. And then I'm glad we fixed this one because this really explains. Oh, sorry, observation. Oh, I have it here, I think. Yeah, it's in here. How do I scroll? Why can't I scroll to it? Whatever. There is some code here. That's better. There we have it. Like it just shows how you would actually handle this. This will be a cleanup. Yeah. Store, I guess. So it's like comparable to this thing. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna change that to set interval. Yeah, I have the code for that here as well. Yeah, so we're gonna do the set interval thing, and then we're gonna show this for comparison. Anyways, yeah, but that's for later, I guess. Cool. Bye for now. Have a good weekend.